Welcome to the Hillbilly RV channel. Today we're going to be winterizing this Lakota horse trailer with living quarters. And you might think, well, this is an RV channel. Well, yeah, the living quarters in a horse trailer is just exactly like an RV. Same components, same everything. It's a little camper in front of a horse trailer. So yeah, we got a kitty checking us out today. She's rubbing around on my legs while I'm talking to y'all, but don't go up in there. I really don't want you in my truck, because Bonnie goes up in my truck all the time and she goes straight to the rag box and climbs in the rag box. So I bet this cat will do the same thing, because she probably smells Bonnie. Come on, get out. Come on. Come on, out. Come on. Okay. Alrighty, let's anytime I do a winterizing, I just like to do a quick walk around. And the only thing that is different from a horse trailer and an RV is the fact that horse trailers have an outside spigot instead of an outside shower. But now you gotta watch, because it can have an outside shower also. So we know the tank fill is right here. We need to make sure the water tank is empty. And we walk around this side, and we have our water heater. We're going to need to be in there. Alrighty. And we don't have an outside shower. So yeah, let's go inside real quick. See if the monitor panel says there's water in the tank. It says it's empty. Water pump lives right here. That may be where the tank drain is at also. Let me go grab a light. So there is the pump, and it does have a winterizing hose. It's right there. So let's go. I'm gonna go outside and see if that tank drain there's the top of the tank. Let's see if that tank drain is underneath the trailer. Okay, I did find the tank drain. It was underneath the camper, and it would have a cap on it, and I believe right there is the cap. It does not look like they have put water in that freshwater tank this whole season. So yeah, all right, so the next thing I want to do is go ahead and drain the water heater. So we know the freshwater tank is empty now. Find the appropriate size socket. Ooh, much bigger. Bigger. That's the one. We'll just pull that plug out. I'm going to relieve the pressure inside on the water system. Alright, just open the faucet in there. Just give it a little squirt. I'm just going to let that gurgle. I've had terrible luck this year fooling with those pop-off valves. Once I open one, it won't quit dripping. So let's just leave that alone. That will drain in a few minutes. We don't have to worry about the pop-off valve leaking on us next spring. So yes, you should be able to do that. You should be able to just open the pop-off valve, bleed off the pressure, if you're feeling it, you know, bleed off air. But like I say, I'm just having terrible luck this year with those things. I don't touch them if I don't have to. Got 2 gallons of antifreeze. Let's go up inside here. Let's go ahead and turn the bypass valves on the water heater, since it is draining. The back side of it is in the bathroom here under this sink. So there's the back side of the water heater, and it is a 2-valve system. So we turn this valve off and open this valve, and then there's a check valve here. So the antifreeze will bypass the water heater, won't go in the water heater. We'll just leave that just like that until the spring. So we can close this door. Alrighty, now at the end of this hose, there's a valve that we need to open so we can suck antifreeze through this winterizing hose. So we'll open that one. We will close the one that comes from the freshwater tank up to the pump. And now we're ready to start winterizing. We will just take a gallon of antifreeze, pop out the little aluminum thingy, put that in the hose, put that hose in the jug, and then turn the water pump on. Right here, we hear our pump. Now, just to make sure it bleeds here, picks up. There you go. It picked up antifreeze. So now all we have to do is go to the farthest. I like to start the farthest away from the pump, which is going to be our shower. Gonna put that shower hose down in there, and we open our faucet. Until we get pink. That's the hot side. It will usually take longer than the cold side. Starting to get pink. We'll just stop right there. Do the cold. Alright. It's already pink. Oh. Y'all made a mess in the floor. We're going to get a towel. And just go around and do that at all the fixtures. Don't forget the commode. Everybody forgets the commode. Alright. Go ahead and switch this jug out for a freshie. We're getting ready to go outside and do that outside water faucet spigot thingy. We're going to grab a towel to clean up that mess y'all made in there in front of the shower. Shame on y'all. Go ahead and do the kitchen sink while we're here. go. All right. Let's go outside again. Here we go. It's nice and pink. All right. All right, so at this point, we have used just about a gallon of antifreeze. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go around and do everything again. It is not uncommon when you go around and do things the second time to see a slug of water come through. Not uncommon. So that's why I like to do everything twice. Alright, that jug is empty. Let me turn that water pump off for just a minute. Let me go get the third gallon. I always use 3 gallons. Could you do it with 1? Probably. Could you do it with 2? Maybe. I use 3. Cheap insurance. It's a gallon of antifreeze. Let me go grab another one. Because we had not done the kitchen sink the second time. Gotta turn the pump back on. All right, so we've got just a little over a gallon of antifreeze left over. What am I gonna do with that? I'm gonna just go around and dump it in the traps. All 3 traps, all 4 traps. So we got double kitchen sink. Because remember, you know, we didn't have any antifreeze in this trap. Yeah, I could have switched it back and forth. Now, pull your hose up out of your jug and then turn your pump back on. You suck all the antifreeze out of the jug. Plus, that kind of depressurizes the water system. Turn the pump back off, we were done with that. The water system is depressurized, it's antifreezed. Now, we do want to be sure and change these 2 valves down in here back to normal operation. That one down there in the bottom, that's the freshwater tank. That one right there is the bypass or the winterizing hose. So we'll turn that one off, turn that one on. Put the bottom back in the cabinet. Actually closet. Boom. Ready for next year. Now, just just gonna dump this in the traps, especially the shower. Shower trap is extremely hard to get to. If it cracks in the winter, you know, if it freezes and busts, it's extremely hard to get to. So I like to do it extra. But that's it. So yeah, if you have to winterize your RV, you can definitely use this video. This is just a little RV on the front of this horse trailer. So yeah, yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go up the road and fix another one, I think. Depends on this rain, and I'll catch y'all later. Okay, because I am always transparent on this channel, anybody knows what I forgot? I forgot the city fuel. So it would have been unprotected from here to the pump up here. So I went back and did that. So it's done. So hey, we're all human. We all make mistakes. This is my first winterize of the season, and I forgot something. But I fixed it. No cost to the customer. So it's all good. Y'all be good. See you next time.